Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chat19, podcasty-style thingamajig featuring the players you love from Nat19. Here we'll be delving into some of your most burning questions you've submitted using the questionnaire form in this video's description, as well as on our Twitch page. I am your host, Chase, also known as Coffin Jockey, and today I am joined the day that is today, that I said twice, by some people who are lovely, and I'll say that twice as well. So how about you introduce yourselves? A little bit of info on the characters in case in Chat19 episode 18 it's the first time anyone's seeing anything about your characters. Starting with Spencer.
No!
Yes!
Okay.
Yes!
Oh, fine. Hello, I'm Spencer. I play Vogen on Vestige. I play Arden Doyle in DMS, and I play Kruska Bensley in the Princess of the Apocalypse campaign. Yeah. I do a bunch of other stuff for Project Mouthwash, but we're here to talk about D&d, so whatever.
True.
Yeah.
So incredibly true. Next up we got Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm cute. I play Mary and Lucius at the Saturday games, and that's what we're talking about today. And that's it. Hi.
So talented, so powerful. Well, we have a bunch of questions submitted by you lovely viewers.
Lovely viewers.
I'm going to get speaking today at some point. It's going to come to me partway through this episode.
You're the
and
host
it'll
of
be
the show,
magnificent.
sir.
I am paid to speak professionally. Let's continue on with some of these questions that we have received from the Power Boys and the peeps that watch the show. So the first question I got is, Dear Horny Boy, what does it feel like to have your best friend ripped out of your life into the flaming court of hell because of your own actions? Do you have any plans to fix that? I wanted to start off really, basic, simple, light, get the flow going.
Well, Vogen doesn't have any plans for that, but no.
Oh, learning things about Vogen. Vogen's a Vogen.
That's what this show's for. Find out the details.
Well, he said, well, how do you feel about your best friend? So, anyway.
Miriam is fine.
I mean, Miriam's, like, devastated. But outside of plans, I mean, get swole, kill Fierna. Not really, but get swole, beat Fierna, at least. Immediately his first reaction is to just give everything up, and would ideally like to do that, but with the extenuating circumstances with this, like the Crystal Queen still after him, and everything else surrounding the highest standard, to give away his magic items or whatever the Queen might, or whatever the Queen of Flagathos, Fierna might request of him, assuming she's so kind as to allow him to choose that, would leave him in a position where he's gonna die.
So that's some stuff that I feel like, just in case, we started off pretty strong. But would you mind giving some additional backstory on this situation and what has led up to it?
A long time ago, Miriam and Fenris boned down on a queen's bed, and they broke it.
Yep.
And then that was like a minor slight. She probably would have got over that. I then stole a Constellaquary from them, and I've been wearing it ever since. And she wants it back really, really badly, and she wants to take my skin off. So I need to get strong enough that I can kill them. Otherwise, Miriam is going to not have skin.
Gotcha.
He really, really wants that.
So that's the Crystal Queen situation?
Yes, that's the Crystal Queen.
I was gonna say Fierna's a little petty if she cares about that, but
yeah, Fierna would have. From what I understood, this was bound to happen to some degree, because of a guest Miriam has in his brain. There's what they claim to be was once a pit fiend, was part of like a demonic essence that was implanted within Miriam to make him into a tiefling. They've been dormant for a very, very long time, and whenever they showed up, they probably would have got dragged in by Fierna, and it wouldn't have been on such bad circumstances. But I also lied to a bunch of a bunch of Yugoloths saying I worked for Fierna and they should fuck off. And then they just asked her if I did, and I gave them my real name for some reason.
Oh,
And I also used a sending spell to harass Fierna, so they really didn't like me.
goodness.
Yeah.
So they just decided that they were going to have a time where they got revenge on you. Now is that what
they
this whole thing is?
they magically kidnapped Miriam via the gate spell, and
Wonderful.
they would have killed him had he not also been someone they recognized, because they were a part of making Miriam who he was, and he was a part of an experiment to see if they could open the Vault of Vestige to gather powerful magic items.
Gotcha. Okay. So now you have you dropped a lot of information in describing the things that led up to the soul thing. So there's a thing in your brain. There's a pit fiend in your head.
I am pretty fresh on this as well, so I can't really give much better context. It happened about a half second before Miriam was magically kidnapped by the gate spell. I tried attuning to an item that Miriam does not possess the alignment to attune to, and he just had a little voice in his head be like, "Why don't you let me try?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay." And he took over Miriam's body, and then by the time Miriam regained consciousness, he was chained up in Phlegethos.
So do you think he did a good job?
He did absolutely nothing. But we had a conversation since then, and he could be really useful, maybe, possibly.
Okay.
And he's stuck inside me, so I got to deal with him anyways.
That's fair. He has some potential to pay rent in the space that is your brain.
He doesn't want to die, and neither do I. So we got mutual interests.
Gotcha. So this was another question that feels related to your first bit, the answer earlier for the whole Court of Hell situation and plans to fix that. Dear Miriam, how strong do you plan to get before you fight Fierna?
I mean, it depends on what we can get. Like, if someone's offering, Miriam's taking it at this point. We're, as of last session, we're in a place that Miriam is magically directed to, and the pair to his Constellaquary is here. He wants that real bad, but he'll do anything. I mean, Miriam's dream is to be heckin' on par with Vecna. Is that going to happen? Absolutely not. And also, who's Vecna? But, he would want to be comparable to an Archmage, ideally, and he'd want an army, because she's the ruler of Hell, or at least the fourth circle of Hell, and the second scariest devil after Asmodeus.
Yeah, she's probably not chilling there alone. Yeah, she's probably got some peeps to help her out with some stuff. Yeah, that's fair. Small follow-up question to how strong do you plan to get? Is there any way you can bone your way out of this situation?
If he could, he'd consider it, and probably not, because she'd probably still kill him.
But I mean, hey, praying mantis rules, as far as I'm concerned. You might get something out of that. What a good time. That's absolutely terrifying. You're really in quite the situation.
He's in a pickle. I've had the same 3 magic items since like 50 sessions ago, because I can't unattune from any of them. 2 of them are too good, and 1 of them stops me from dying.
It comes up way too often.
Yeah, that's fair. You kind of had your loadout set up pretty early there, it sounds like. Next question I have is for Vogen. Dear bald red boy, at any point did you have hair? If so, what did it look like?
Nope. He was bald the very moment he was born, and he's never had hair ever. He's been something went wrong, and he's just never had hair ever.
I understand.
The saddest thing.
The saddest thing possible. Far sadder than whatever that shit was about the friend being ripped out of life and into hell. Way sadder than that.
Yeah, he's still not over it. No, he's never really given it a thought. So he doesn't care if he's bald or anything.
That's understandable. Next question
He's
I have
also
is
never tried to grow hair, so
you make it sound like it could be an active, concerted effort.
maybe
With muscle control.
He's like,
oh, it's all good, guys. It was just in there all along.
yeah,
Just growing down.
because I found it.
Get back from Honoku, and he's just got this majestic mane.
Yeah.
Oh, what a good time. Next question I have is also for Vogen. Dear Vogen, you and Avi have been getting along lately. Is it possible that you've become friends? Best friends? Friends who might kiss? Is it possible?
The last part? No, probably not. Most likely not. But yeah, they've I think they've become friends. After a lot of you know, a lot of work. It's it took a lot to get them to that point, but I think they're in a good place where they're at least friends. Probably not best friends though. He's working on that. He has to resist a lot of bird jokes.
So it sounds like Vogen has intention to make best friends.
Potentially.
He's
He's doing his
on
best
the best
to not.
friend train.
He's doing his best not to like piss her off, like a lot. So, yeah.
Just a little.
She's a little temperamental. She's got a very easy button to press. And he's doing his best to avoid pressing it. But at the moment, they're friends.
It's going for now. That's fair.
At least, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
The next question I have is for both of you. Dear Vogen and Miriam. You guys know that Miriam's totally the leader now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's... Yeah.
Totally.
Implying he ever wasn't the leader? Heck, you got him.
Yeah.
Get him.
Legally, you're now the leader of the highest standard.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. If Vogen ever never comes back, legally, the leader of the highest standard.
Yeah, I mean,
Follow-up question also related to that. Dear Vogen, how does it feel having to become the leader right before Quinn got stuck in hell for who knows how long? Do you think Quinn made the right choice handing the position over to you and then subsequently over to
Vogen
Miriam?
doesn't think he made the right decision at all. It's like, you fucking idiot. There's Fenris and Miriam, you dumbass. No, he feels a lot of pressure, I guess. Just because he doesn't really like he's been in a position of leadership and everything back in like the Hellrock Army, but you know, he doesn't want to be reminded of the days when he was in the Hellrock Army. So he's you know, a little apprehensive to be put back in that leadership position. But he wants to respect Quintus. Quintus's you know, his wish. And then and then he got sucked into hell, which is real bad timing. It's like,
yeah,
oh,
you maybe didn't
no.
get the full explanation of what that vision for leadership would look like.
Yeah.
like oddly thematic, but very like really good timing on Quintus's part.
Yeah, right. It's like, oh, crab. Yeah, it's just real bad timing. I think Quintus planned this. Quintus planned to be sucked into hell.
You got a letter from Fiona and be like, yo, this is gonna be awesome.
Yes. Yeah, there you go.
Fucking just gets a sending from an archdevil and just like, Fierna asked me to hold her beer. I don't know what that means, but I think you're about to be in for it.
She said it's gonna be great. All I had to do was emotionally devastate my friends and cripple my current relationship prospect.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's great.
Easy.
Fantastic.
Probably related, but I'm not 100% sure. Dear Vogen, now that you've done some guild restructuring, what are your plans for replacement Meatshields?
Oh, jeez. Has he done any guild restructuring?
Have you? I mean, I know there's some people in some other places now, due to events that have been discussed slightly.
What do you mean? What?
Quit.
I mean, there are several people in hell. At least one person in hell.
Yeah.
Min one in hell.
That's fair.
And then I think there's some others on another continent. I don't know if that's true. I appreciate the what from the other room. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love the color commentary coming in through the walls. I'm here for it. I was just as surprised to hear.
But heckin', what are your plans for replacement Meatshields? I don't know.
I'm sure people as powerful as Quintus are like a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Just
After
go
we
pick him
finish
up
our
from the
time in
corner
the
store.
Shadowfell, just Vogen with an army of like hill giants.
Yeah. I beat them so they become my pals. Now they work for me now. He's gonna call in on all of his favors to the gods, and they're gonna.
There you go.
They'll become his Meatshields. Or I
That
guess
sounds
the
right.
guild's Meatshields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All your resources are being diverted to the guild. I get that. Yeah. Any large influx of meat shields, belongs to the group. I get that. That's
Yeah.
very generous of you. Such generosity is why the gods owe you money.
Exactly.
Yes.
They just keep falling into that, like they keep asking, and then he keeps giving, but they're never ready for when he comes to collect.
Shame. Absolute shame.
Yep.
Next question I have is for Miriam. Dear Miriam, if you manage to survive being possessed by a demon, though I guess it's more of a devil pit fiend thing.
Yeah.
Coughing now. Hunted by a vampire queen, thrown into a death realm, and pissing off an archdemon. Do you ever think you could see yourself settling down?
Yeah, Miriam's quite a homebody, but if you were to ask him, no. In no universe does he see himself ever stopping now that he's started. He constantly, me the player and the character themselves have both verbally talked about him dying all the time because Miriam doesn't really see a lot of his future not ending in his death somewhere. He has a very strict bard mindset in that he is not a hero. He hangs around heroes. One of the biggest things about Quintus being so devastating is that Quintus is quite literally the archetypical knight in shining armor. And, aside from being his best friend, he was a big part of Miriam's purpose as a bard as well. He wanted to elevate this knight to his proper station and take him home, and he can lead his country. Whenever that ended, Aaron, I have no idea what Miriam would end up doing, but he'd do something. He'd leave, probably. And he'd keep going. Especially as a tiefling, even in the best case scenario where he continues to live well and fine, he's too curious for his own good. He actively wants to poke things with a stick, and he wants to know how the universe works. I say it a million times as well, but if he was not a tiefling, in the universe where he was born a human and for some reason still the same heroic aspirations that he gained as a kid, or at least the same adventurous aspirations, he would be a wizard. But he would absolutely poke the bear enough that he would get dragged off and branded by the church for using too powerful magic.
Yeah, I feel like you're already pretty much in that boat of like someone should probably be after you based on what I understand of the universe of just like just shit that you can kind of already do. Just the shenanigans you're already in, like being ripped into hell to go
Miriam's
get
at like
yelled at by
the
Fierda.
cusp of too dangerous. With full context, absolutely. With at a glance, just enough that people don't right now is how I feel it looks like. Because he can use magic, but he doesn't use all of it, especially in town. He's got a lot of helpful but not flashy magic. Outside of things like Call Lightning. And his Constella Query is the stealthiest of all of them. It's just armor. Even when he uses it, all it does is fuck with one person. It doesn't do any grand things. It's not like he's going bankai with it. And that, I think, affords him a bit of social stealth in that respect. But were he to ever cast anything, like we're right on the cusp of where he's going to start gaining spell levels in spells that are just flat out illegal to use.
Yeah, I mean, also, in the spirit of what makes these spells illegal, it's more of like the danger you possess to everyone and everything around you by wielding that much power, more so than the spell itself. And you're already at the point where, like, the equivalent of a demigod is ripping you into another plane to scream at you. So, like, I feel like we're at that point. Even if your spells are very discreet.
If any of them knew what he's been up to with full context, they'd be like, you need to be put somewhere else.
Yeah, and if you were a wizard, all the things you'd have would be much flashier. I agree with that analysis. That's a good time. I have another question from Miriam. Let's see. Dear Lord Miriam Lucius, what did you do?
Fenris?
Follow-up question. Dear Miriam, what did you do? Miriam, come on. No, seriously. What the fuck did you do? Oh God, what did you do? And before you answer that, also follow-up question. Dear Miriam, what did you do? Also, how much do you know about this Honokuni place that you've effectively dragged most of the party to?
Fenris, scandal.
Badumtis.
No, so I'm assuming they're talking about what brought us to Honokuni, because Miriam does a lot of things. Again, he pokes things with a stick. This was a while ago. This is something that it's not like I sneakily did this off on the side. Miriam to be fair, he did do it away from the party, but it was in broad view. All y'all asking should know already. He when we were in the Underdark, he took off his amulet of proof against detection location and attempted to invoke the Faniant to discuss trying to get stronger, because he knew he had to. Like, at this point, he constantly has been in positions where he is either just unable to help someone or sometimes is entirely helpless, and it is infuriating.
This is back when you guys were going after the drow, right?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't there, so I had no idea.
This was everyone was like lightly talking about it, but
yeah,
it hasn't been super talked about amongst the players. But anyone watching should know. He stepped away, and he removed it, and the Faniant kind of chastised him for that. He's like, you don't wearing that, or no, I could find you. So he doesn't remove it anymore because it's too dangerous to do so, because he removed it around, I think it was like 9 or 10 p.m. is what Logan told me. That's roughly been the same time every single day that the Crystal Queen has just gently sent a scrying spell in Miriam's direction. And so I removed it, and she scryed on him, found him, and then cast teleport and appeared next to him. Was like, cool, I'm taking that back, and I'm going to kill you. Well, no, I believe she said, I will give you the option to give that back. And then she just didn't say that she was going to kill him, but of course she was.
Yeah, naturally.
And then the Faniant appeared, and they had an argument over who owned Miriam more. And they debated fighting for a while, and then they decided that they would let it go for now, and she'll just kill me later. And then he chatted with the Faniant for a while and said he needs more power. He needs to get stronger, because if he's going to kill the Crystal Queen, and he needs to kill the Crystal Queen at this point, there's no running from her for forever. I've pointed out a couple times as well. Here's an issue that I as a player and Miriam especially would also think of this much more than even I would, is he is in a very beneficial position in that the Crystal Queen doesn't explicitly know anyone else in the party, so they might, and they eventually will start scrying on them. Oh. Our host has disappeared.
Oh no!
I'll keep they
And he's back.
welcome
Well,
back.
it's fine.
They eventually they're going to scry on other people around him, like Quintus or someone who's very loud. If they scry on someone like Fenris, they are not immune to scrying. I don't have an aura of it around me. They are perfectly targetable, and as long as they know I'm with these people, eventually they're just going to show up anyways. And that's inevitable. So Miriam's thought about leaving a couple times just based on that alone, because they're in more danger with him around, and he's in more danger around them.
Fair. On a somewhat related note to that, I've always thought it's really funny to envision what it looks like viewing through a scrying sensor on a party where some of them are not immune to scrying and some of them are immune to scrying, and just seeing them like turn to an
Talking to
empty
nothing.
spot in a semicircle. Just being like, what do you think about that, Miriam?
Yeah.
Wow, great insight.
So yeah, he discussed gaining more power, and the Faniot promised to look for the sister Constellaquary, to the one that Miriam's already wearing, because when they're joined together, allegedly all Constellaquaries become much more powerful. This was something that was eventually going to happen, but with the Fanian actively looking for it, and us being so close to a place that's tied very close to other planes in general, but especially the Shadowfell, it put us in a position where we could easily get dragged and sent that way. So we were steered, I think, in that direction by the Fanian.
So, just to triple check, you coming to this area, like this Honokuni area.
Yeah.
What was the goal of doing that? Like, what was the aim?
Well, we were dragged there, but the general aim is that somewhere in this plane, assumedly, is an artifact, either the Primal Gemstone. I don't believe it's the Primal Gemstone. I believe it's a Sister Constellaquary. An item that pairs with his armor, and that will help Miriam become stronger. Hopefully, with the ideal of becoming strong enough that he can eventually kill the Crystal Queen. Because once she's dealt with, he doesn't need to hide his position in the world anymore.
And you get an attunement slot back.
And I get an attunement slot back. I mean, I guess I could just take Nistel's magic aura and just cast it on. I don't think that only does... No, that wouldn't work against scrying. Never mind.
You get an attunement slot back.
Yep. I would need
That's the real
That's the
treasure.
spell. Non-detection on himself, but I don't think you can make that permanent.
The real treasure was the attunement slot we gained along the way.
Everyone's like, wow, Miriam, you did it. You killed the Crystal Queen. That's so good. Now you can finally rest easy that this person isn't coming to kill you. And Miriam's like, oh no, there's still like 40 fucking people coming to kill me.
Yeah.
It's just
how many
none of them
people
are
we piss
dangerous
off?
enough.
Oh my
None of them are
god.
dangerous enough to warrant a amulet against proof of detection location. I got my attunement slot back, baby.
Yeah, no, I mean there would have been a period in his life, I guess slightly circling back to one of the previous questions, where Miriam would have been quite happy to just work in a bakery, maybe, and then it just didn't work out, and so he's like, all right, I guess I have to keep doing this bard thing, and he stuck with it, and it's led to some of the best and most miserable things that have ever happened to him.
Just fucking, yeah, the sourdough never started, so anyway, I'm gonna kill God.
Basically.
Love it.
D&D is actually just a JRPG.
Yeah. Oh, what a good time. Next question I have is for both Miriam and Vogen.
Oh my god.
Dear Miriam and Vogen, what are your thoughts on the new guy? Is he hot or is he not? Is he 2 words away from being Avi stabbed?
Vogen likes him. Vogen doesn't really have a problem with him. Like, he hasn't, to his knowledge, made any moves against the party. He's even like helped them. Like after like fighting with him and everything, just like okay, he's fine. Like they're fine. And he got to point and laugh at him in the last session. It was great.
That's
was...
that's the whole checklist basically of like getting Vogen to like someone is be good at fighting adjacent to Vogen and also be mockable.
Give Vogen holy weapon and he'll love you forever. It was fantastic. Yeah, I'm sure they would have been even happier if Vogen and Sunder weren't whisked away by magical mist.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Miriam has Miriam has opinions, but a lot of it is just distrust and distaste because he works for Fierna, and Miriam isn't exactly fresh on Fierna.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. But I don't know. I feel like that's completely out of character for Miriam to just suddenly distrust a new person.
Oh, I totally. Miriam's such a friendly person to strangers. That's why I definitely didn't fuck with him constantly.
Definitely. Yeah, all you got to do is be adjacent to Miriam, and you get instant trust. That's why he's always had a attunement slot occupied with an amulet against proof of detection and location. Just so warm and welcoming, and such open arms for hugs. Yes, good, wonderful.
He's working on getting that attunement slot open for hugs.
Yes. Just to get another set of magical arms and just be like, I'm gonna be so good at hugging.
That's Miriam.
That's Miriam.
Trustful guy.
Trustful guy.
In fact, Miriam also fucked with Quintus a lot when I first met.
Maybe you'll have yet to owe a second life debt to the new guy.
Depending on Miriam liking someone depends on entirely on how well you can roll with his punches.
Well, the big thing is that he learned more about Quintus, and Quintus is especially back then, he's a party animal in a family of party animals, and so he was easy enough to get along with, and he has a sincerity about him that is literally crippling him. He was really nice to Drow by reflex. Not by effort. He actively was like, oh yeah, come live at my place. Which was like, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? And he does that to everybody. He's kind of a big dum-dum. And so Miriam liked him a lot, but he also didn't know how to deal with a human because as a tiefling, he's always learned to be on guard. You don't have a average upbringing when you have horns and are purple.
Yeah.
Them purple horny boys, they don't got it easy.
But yeah, no, ain't no life debt going to the new guy. He could do it with Quintus because Miriam could allow himself to feel responsible. Anything could happen to Nemric, and he's like, that's Fiona's fault.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair.
No matter what, he's like, you made your choices here. I will never take responsibility. Even if it directly was, Miriam probably would be stubborn enough to try and ignore it and maybe feel bad about it later. But he can't afford that right now. He's never gonna have the same guilt that he feels for his best friend that he could for this stranger, and as far as he's concerned, spy. That's why they're all honest about reporting about it.
What's this new person's name again?
Nemric.
Okay, that's
Cody's new character.
Nice. I'm just imagining fucking Miriam beating the shit out of Nemric and being like, listen, champ, you just gotta blame Fierna for this.
Yeah,
this is Fierna's doing.
This is really all Fierna's fault.
When you think about it, Fierna. Anyway, call lightning. Speaking of mists that brought you to places, Vogen. Dear Vogen, you've begun the sparks of a relationship with the best girl, Mary Mist. What kind of future do you see with her? Any chance of Vogen spawn down the line? Also, are you aware that if you break her heart, you will have to fight the entirety of the highest standard?
Yeah, that's definitely true. You've begun the spark. Yeah. What kind of future does he see with her? I don't think he's like entirely thought about their future together. Like he just basically he's expressed his feelings to her with like satisfactory results, I'd say. Yeah, he hasn't really thought about it. Like, if you put the idea of like, oh, you want like Vogen, you gonna have kids with her? Just his mind would fucking explode because he doesn't want little hobgoblin disaster babies running around.
You want little, totally, definitely real little plain touched hobgoblins running around with a little ice hair.
Yeah. These literal goblins.
The Vogen curse will prevent them from having hair. Naturally.
That's true.
That's a family trait.
They can't pull each other's hair.
That's true.
Yeah. It's hereditary.
There might be a light amount of maiming in spite of that, but it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. As far as like his future with her is concerned, he just wants to be happy with her, essentially.
I mean, Vogen, the king of foresight. Yeah.
Yes.
Vogen thinks about 10 minutes in the future.
Yeah. He lives in the moment. He doesn't. He's still kind of in that war mindset. It's like, I just got to worry about the next battle. I got to worry about not dying because we keep running into things that will kill us if we let our guard down for a second. So
I don't know why you feel so paranoid about things coming to kill you.
Right?
There's almost never things coming to kill you. What do you
Never.
mean?
Never anything like that.
Anyway, speaking of death, dear Vogen, has your recent brush with death given you any new perspectives? Is there anything you want to do now that you have once again been reminded of your fragile mortality?
He's almost died several times. He's been beaten so badly that he lost his barbarian levels and began doing sword saint. And now he's actually died to a frost giant that was possessed by a mind flare, or mind controlled, I should say, not possessed.
Okay.
Still, big difference. But yeah, no, he's actually died, and I don't know, like he's come so close to death so many times. I don't think he's thought about it entirely yet. Like, just because there's already so much going on. I don't think he's had time to think about his own death. He's just worried about keeping everyone else alive.
I mean, literally, even when he got brought back, it was wake up, we gotta go.
Yeah, no, the building was coming down on all of us. He was only just barely revived before the entire building collapsed. And his body was lost forever. So,
yeah, even if we like dug through that rubble, you would have been a fine paste at the bottom of the mountain.
He would have been just ooze dripping out, just beneath
I wonder if that
the rocks.
counts. I'm sure some wizards tried it somewhere.
What?
Because you need like body, but it doesn't say the body has to be solid. Like if it's you, it doesn't count. I mean, I guess most of them stipulate they can't. Like certain ones can replace vital organs, and certain ones can't. So it has to be one that can. But beyond that,
gotta be a bigger
probably.
One. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some of that Vogen paste, put it in a jar, just seal it off in a mason jar with a pickle or something.
That's sad. That's depressing.
And then you just resurrect him from the Vogen paste.
It's great.
There you go. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That seems normal to me.
The highest standards leader paste.
Yes.
Use it as lotion.
Delicious leader juice.
It's multi-use.
You can bring them back or drink it to gain their power.
If you drink this, you gain 11 sword saint levels.
Oh god. It's like just a hair away from a fucking chia pet equivalent. You just slather the paste and grow a new Vogen.
You gotta rub the paste on your head, but it makes all your hair fall out. And that's it.
Yes, perfect. To get the curse.
You want to get that bald look? Here you go.
Also, if you drink it during a full moon, you become a Vogen.
Vogen is alive, but only during the full moon.
And you're kind of in another dude's body, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's
Just all sorts of fucked up.
Next question I have is for Miriam. Dear Miriam, Captain America chair sit. So you've left your best friend in a hell dimension for Tequin knows how long. How you feel about that, bud? Is Miriam throwing any blame around? At himself? Or Quintus? Or anyone else?
Himself. I mean, he's mad at Quinn for doing it, although he's aware that there was basically no... The choice he had was Quinn had to agree to kill him, effectively. Quinn had to let him die, which Quinn would never do. Which is why he stayed behind it. And after Quinn signed the contract, Miriam also had to, and he did, but simply because if he doesn't, he gains none of the benefits, but is effectively still beholden to the contract, because as long as Quintus is beholden to the contract, by Miriam's action, he can end up giving Quintus's soul to Fiona.
Gotcha. So, a lot of Miriam self-blame.
I mean, that's
Quinn
nothing new for Miriam. He exists in a space of like icy passive self-hatred.
Yeah, Miriam should take some Sword Saint levels.
It worked great for
really
Vogen.
work on himself.
Not on anyone else's life. He is far too fancied with magic.
It's true.
If he was smart, I think he just became smart enough. He technically could start being a wizard now, if he wanted to.
Speaking of Sword Saint levels, dear Vogen, outside of bettering yourself and paying penance for your past actions, is there anything you hope to learn about yourself during your pilgrimage?
Learn about yourself. Oh, okay. Instead of bettering yourself and paying penance for your past actions. Oh my god. Like I said before, I don't think he doesn't think that far ahead. He's basically, yeah, he's just doing the pilgrimage to paying for his penance and his past actions. Although, like, Elmira put like the thing in front of him, like, yeah, gotta get these heckin' constellaquaries and whatnot. Get a wish and whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. I can't fully remember off the top of my head right now. But as far as learning anything about himself, I mean, there's nothing specific that he hopes to learn. I guess he hopes to learn that he's capable of, kindness and all that jazz.
Vogen's like,
fun.
oh, gross, learning. Oh, gross, myself!
Ah! What have I discovered? I've learned that one of my arms is shorter than the other.
I'm gonna have to put that short arm through training.
If it trains enough, it'll grow.
Yes. Wonderful.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, that's fair. Dear Miriam, how often do you consider the consequences of your actions before you take them? Is it shorter or longer if it would also affect someone else?
That is a complicated question with Miriam, because depending on what's in front of him, that changes. Anytime Miriam has the opportunity to learn things he's not supposed to know, specifically, like the more cosmic in scale, ding dong, the more cosmic in scale that it is, the more he will probably want to reflexively jump to his id and just go for it. Or if it's something fun, but he will meticulously think a lot of things out. He had very, very honest, open, clear-cut opinions about what Quintus should and shouldn't be doing, and often coerced him into doing them because that was what he was supposed to do. And he couldn't do things wrong. Miriam spent, well, I mean, this is a long time ago, but at the very beginning of the tournament, Miriam would bet on Quintus because it would be unseemly for him not to do so. Like, he absolutely played into the noble ideology and making a show out of even his finances with how he would place his confidence in effectively his master. Not really, but that's how people would see it. And for him to bet on anyone else, which he eventually did after Quintus was out, or he would do like multiple at the same time, but always the most on Quintus first, because he had to have that unwavering support, regardless of if he actually thought he could win or lose. It was simply the merit of doing it. So Miriam considers a lot of stuff like that, or like, you know, in an ideal circumstance, Miriam doesn't have the circle for the land away. Had he been able to beforehand, once we were done stuff and we were about to leave, Miriam would have been like, all right, I'm going to draw a circle on the ground and push Quintus into it, and he can go home and be with his family. You know, he did what he set out to do. He got the Hammer of Constantinian Winter. He gave it to Fenris, which is probably you want to take her back too to show it off. But his dad's back. He doesn't need to rule the land away right now. He can go back to being a student effectively. He can learn because he's effectively, he hasn't really finished his education to become a ruler in the land away. He had to take that mantle on because that vacuum was there, and it's either his family stops being one of the ruling families, or he takes on that mantle, or leaves it to his uncle who doesn't want to do it. Yeah, I think it would be a good thing for him. I, as a player, knew that was never going to happen, but Miriam would want that, and he considered that for months and months and months, and he plans a lot of things. A conversation he had recently with Lexi, when he bought a love potion like 7 sessions ago, that was something he's like, yeah, all right, I'll pull this out at some point, and they can figure out if they're actually feeling love or not.
I gotcha. So yeah, definitely a mixed bag, but there is some thought there.
Yeah, he's
frequently.
Like, you know, what is a man? He's a messy pile of contradictions. He is, and that's why I love him so much.
What a boy. Next question I have is for Vogen. Speaking also of your pilgrimage going on. Dear Vogen, if you had the opportunity to cast Wish, what would you wish for?
What would he wish for?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you've had multiple months to begin thinking about this, since you seem to believe that the reward for completing the pilgrimage is the wish spell.
He wasn't gonna use it. He wasn't. He wasn't gonna wish for anything. That was for his master.
What's his master wishing for? What's that?
I don't know. I don't know. World peace. Something.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, she'd do that. She'd definitely do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking Vogen would wish for. What would he wish for? I have no idea.
Additional fighter level.
Yeah. Give me that. I want my action surge back.
Actually, I do love questions like these because they're one of the few times you can force someone to kind of sit down and think about, like, long term. Given no restriction, what does your character want? And it's hard. I mean, I got to kind of cheat. Miriam got to wish for things that he didn't necessarily want. He felt obligated to do.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was like in the form of a luck blade where there's no timer on expending the wish kind of thing, it seems like one of those things where Vogen just be like, neat, and just like sheath it and like chill with a luck blade with a wish locked in it and not do anything.
Like, I feel like if he had the opportunity to like have wish at any point in time, like he just kind of use it for things that are immediately in front of him, like,
oh man,
like fucking he needs something like directly right now. It's like I wish everyone was alive, or something like that.
The fucking field day a GM would have if Vogen just said that with no other stipulations.
Yep. That'd be real bad.
Oh my god.
No,
I
you would have no idea what to do.
It's also one
I
of the
thought
only
you were gonna.
scenarios
I thought you
Miriam
were
can
gonna
beat him
pull
with
an
a fist fight.
oolong.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Excuse me. I thought you were gonna pull an oolong from Dragon Ball and wish for something stupid, but instead you went the opposite direction and like wished for something terrible. And you know what? I'm about both energies. I'm very much about it.
Yeah, no, that's one of the only situations Miriam could duke it out with Vogen and probably win.
Yep. Probably.
It'd be miserable for Vogen. His like literally just shredded muscles turning into pudding for a couple days.
Mm-hmm. No, it'd be a whole time. He would.
Vogen and Miriam agree to fight over the wish, and it's like, all right, I wish that I could win the fight so that I'd win the wish.
Yeah. I feel like.
No,
I feel like
Miriam
he'd
couldn't
use.
even if he got it. Miriam can't cast wish anymore.
Yep.
I mean, I
sure.
guess, but I think we're more talking about like a luck blade.
But even with luck
getting
blade, because
wish
I
through it,
actually
like,
thought about this recently. I was looking at it. It says you cast wish. It doesn't say the luck blade does.
Ah,
The only way Miriam can get more wishes is with genies or something like that. I think a
Cast
ring of
wish for
wishes
him.
also might do it without saying cast. I'd have to check though.
that's
But
fair.
genies cast elsewhere. You need other casters to do it. If it stipulates you
Okay.
cast it, he can't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
fun.
like, yeah, in term like long term, I feel like he'd use his wish for somebody else because he doesn't really desire anything for himself at the moment. Yeah.
It's also a turning point for Vogen, given that would be the end of his pilgrimage. And currently, the thing he wants is to
Yeah.
finish his pilgrimage.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I've got nothing I want. Like, anyone else
Yeah.
want anything? Like a sandwich? Anyone hungry? Like,
I
anyone
wish
dead
for a
that you want
sandwich.
revived? I don't
Activate
But-
sandwich.
know.
I
Better
love
be
it.
the best goddamn sandwich you ever did taste. It's costing a wish. Yeah.
Oh, this fucking. It's like somebody's got the gemstone there for you to cast wish, and it's just like, oh, sick. These things are expensive. Just pocket the gem. Like, don't even get the wish.
Yeah.
That's great.
Ah, nice. I'll use this for later. Oh, you
Free
have to
money!
use this now.
Oh,
You have
love
to use this now. Yeah.
it. Fucking cast wish. I wish for a 25,000 gold gemstone.
There we go. I don't have to worry about anything ever.
Perfect.
Buys a mansion.
There you go.
Perfect.
It's like you wish for a gemstone capable of purchasing a mansion instead of wishing for a mansion.
You know what he'd buy? He'd buy a huge building, make it into a museum for all of his fucking trophies.
Little
There you go.
inscriptions chiseled in about what you killed and when.
Yeah, how I killed it or how we killed it, just things like that.
That's cute.
Now hiring
the further you
Bard
go
to
into
heavily
the,
embellish things.
The further you go into the museum, the higher level things like you get. Just like,
Welcome to
this is
Vogen's
my
Museum
tree.
of Ass Kicking.
Yeah. This is where I killed my first gnoll.
Little cabinet of like recreations. You're like, these ones unfortunately aren't the real ones. They were lost in a fire.
Yeah.
If you've gotten this far, through the museum, you must be really strong. But my next trophy is you. You
Yeah,
are my
that's
next
kinda
trophy.
great.
Oh, I love it.
That
That's a
sounds
good
fun.
time. Oh. Next question I have is for Miriam. Dear Miriam, you recently told Lexi of your past relationship with a woman named Emma. You seem to really love her, or at least care very deeply. Have you found yourself having similar feelings for anyone else since? Or is she the only one that you had that sort of affection for?
Miriam has not had feelings like that for anyone since. Miriam met them in not an amazing place in his life. And it was only about to get worse. But he found a lot of solace and peace in Emma that he didn't really anywhere else. They were also his first extended relationship, really, because outside of the I'm sure fleetful fancies people take in the strange purple boy, ultimately, that he's not exactly the eligible bachelor of the mining town that he came from. He has the urchin background, even though his family had a home, like he had a place to stay, because most of his time was spent out on the streets doing other stuff by himself, because he felt, and this is a thing you always feel, is that his presence alone is a stigma on his family, not just him. And so being around them is bad for them and him. So he just did stuff on his own. So that was one of his first real tastes of extended companionship, that pulled him out of a really, really, like, not bad, but difficult situation, because that was while he was training to be a bard, and his master was difficult, to say the least. So he ended up sleeping outside a lot. And it's one of the main reasons he hates the cold. It was miserable, and it helps build him into the performer he is and into the bard he is. But there's also a reason he didn't choose the same college as his master. He went College of Lore because he wants to learn things.
Speaking of, I don't know if you've ever talked about your master on the show before. What is the deal with Miriam's master?
Miriam's master stumbled onto Miriam while he was trying to make ends meet. He's a half-orc bard from the, I think it's the College of Drifting Echoes. And he basically paid Miriam. He's like, here, have I think it was like a gold piece or something. And he's like, this is yours. I'm like taking students, and the tuition fee is what I just gave you. Do you want to learn, or do you want that? And Miriam's like, I want more than this. So he gave the money back and started training under him. But part of his training involved paying effectively tuition for what he was doing. And as a tiefling, he had to earn that through, as a tiefling bard, as a training bard, he had to earn it through performances. So he would play in bars and he would busk around cities, trying to earn enough money. And if he returned at points where it was due and he didn't have enough, he wouldn't be welcome until he did have enough. And so in times where he wasn't able to continue his training at that point, he would either sleep out in the streets, or he would, go bar to bar and see if he could try and stay somewhere. And that's when he met Emma, and he started spending a lot of time with them until one day they vanished.
So Miriam has no idea where they've gone off to, still.
As far as he knows, they might have never existed.
Oh.
Yeah, he might just be crazy, and he might have dreamed them up after breaking into some bakery.
Gotcha.
He has no idea, because when he looked for them after they disappeared, not a single person that he could find could even recall their existence.
So that was the point. That was the fork in the road. You could have chosen to be a baker in that bakery, or you could have fallen for Emma.
Oh,
Had
had she stayed around, and it were like he liked her enough that had they the mind to, and I as a player don't think they would. Miriam probably would agree that they weren't about to ask the tiefling that they spent time with to move in and stay with them, because that would make their life harder. There's a lot of people that wouldn't shop at a bakery that's even being assisted by a tiefling, because those prejudices exist where they think, if you touch him, is that going to make my kid into a tiefling? Is it going to make me into a tiefling? They don't know how it works. And he doesn't begrudge people their ignorance, but he does know what what pain can come from that. And so he probably wouldn't have, but it's something that, again, were he able to just be like, and I'm a human, he might have been just happy doing that. But he couldn't, and then they disappeared, and he's like, well, I'm going to keep doing the only thing I can keep doing, because Miriam's always been about moving forward. Whether or not he can, he's always going to try.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I dig that. That's a lot of good info. Thank you, my boy. Next question I have is for both Vogen and Miriam. That question is, Dear Vogen and Miriam, crap, I can't think of any questions. The next question I have is for Vogen.
Wow.
Dear Vogen, do you think it'll be difficult to explain to Elmira that Quintus had Jigoku Saiga thrown into the Astral Sea?
Okay, so Elmira, you're not gonna believe this.
As she's holding Jigoku Saiga.
Yeah. As she's holding it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So, I'd also like to hear more about what this question is talking about.
So, oh my god. A lot happened when Quintus and Miriam and all of us were brought into the Diabolical Court to talk to Fierna to defend Miriam. One thing led to another. Fucking Jigoku Saiga, the sentient sword. I think didn't Jigoku Saiga try attacking Fierna? And Fierna was like, none of that, and yeeted Jigoku Saiga into, you know, wherever, like, never to be seen again. Screaming, I regret nothing.
I have learned nothing.
Yeah. Like a little turd. But I don't think Elmira would be mad or anything. What with, you know, the circumstances that happened. Explaining it is another story, because they'd probably go along the same lines as, you know, what I just explained. Because, you know, I'm me playing Vogen, and I have a bad memory just for anything. So, yeah.
So, just to double check, did Jigoku Saiga belong to Elmira?
It was
at any
Elmira's
point?
father's weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was the whole quest to get Jigoku Saiga, and she said that she, like, if he wasn't going to wield it, then she trusts, you know, Vogen to give it to somebody who, you know, would use it and everything. And he gave it to Quinn because he thought, you know, it's like, if anyone's going to, you know, convince this sword to not be racist, it's going to be racist against humans. It's going to be the human. And they were making some progress, and then that whole thing happened. Yeah, but
Didn't Quinn succeed a wisdom save against Jigoku Saiga? I wasn't there for that, but I'm pretty sure that was the thing that happened, right?
it was either a wisdom or a charisma save.
I know it was
can't remember
a
which.
save he shouldn't have succeeded.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, good boy.
Yeah, it was a save that was very difficult to get for him, at least.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So after going on a very long quest to get Elmira's father's weapon, you then gave it to Quinn. Quinn brought it with him to Hell, and it leapt out of his hand and attempted to attack an archfiend.
As far as my memory serves, yes.
Yeah, he requested for it to be sent somewhere else, I believe. Quinn asked if that could happen. Fierna basically said, like, why would I do anything you asked me? I literally don't care. And then Jigoku Saiga's like, no one tells me what to do. And he tried to stab Fierna with his face. Yeah. And then he was thrown into outer space. That's the last we saw him.
Yep. Never to be seen again, probably.
There's no way we're not going to see that heckin' adorable spear. Or glaive, I guess.
Whatever he is.
It's gonna be dubbed the boomerang glaive soon enough.
Yep.
It's gonna come back from space soon enough, I'm sure.
Literal space. See a shooting star at camp one night. It'll crash land.
Yeah.
Yelling at us in Scottish.
Jigoku
Yells in
Saiga just
Scottish.
lands and is like, has anyone mentioned that I'm racist? What a good time. What a good time. Next question I have is for Miriam. Dear Miriam, how do you feel about Avi being so protective of you?
A lot of people have been. Not just Avi, even Fenris has been. lately. I mean, it's noted, and it's, I mean, especially in combat, really appreciated because Miriam is by far the most easily damaged person in the universe. Like, he is so easy to hit. He has okay HP. He's doing fine on that. But if he doesn't save his tricks to stop himself from getting hit, then he will absolutely get it. And if anyone cares to get rid of Miriam, it's not difficult. It's one of the reasons that I didn't have vicious helps from doing amazingly well in the class crown was any like even competent fighter would be able to just absolutely smack him down.
Yeah, they just need to land those attack rolls.
Yep.
So the game's just about making sure you don't get attacked.
He's like, a lot of those fights would come down to, can he get specific spells that just lock them down immediately off, and if not, then goodbye. So, you know, it's nice. And they, in regards to Nemric, I mean, he doesn't feel he needs it in that specific case. He thinks he can take him, and outside of that, he doesn't think he's going to do anything. Whether or not it would constitute a breach of contract, probably not, especially given that whether or not it is deemed by Fierna, like indirectly. So they can kind of get away with whatever they want in regards to that. He doesn't feel like he's in danger, but it's, you know, it's nice to have friends who care about you, and so he definitely sees that. Yeah, I guess the best way you could describe it is that he feels it's maybe misplaced, and they should be worrying about themselves getting back to their boy toy.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that, like, you know, Fen being protective and, you know, caring and, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's just kind of who Fen is. Like, kind of just does that. But Avi's very different in her default reaction to stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah. Miriam took the
being
approach of
much more
annoying them
protective.
until they loved him.
Strong play, but it paid off in the end.
A bold move.
A very bold move. About it. But yeah, that's fair. Next question I have is for Vogen. Dear Vogen, with your growing power, you're about to get a chain of cool things. When you can make 3 attacks in an action, how gross do you think you'll be?
Disgusting. Fucking nasty. Vogen is already kind of just he's already going a little buck wild. But with the addition of more attacks, it's gonna be gross. Like, oh my god. He did like over 100 something damage in the last fight against against what was it? Legion, yeah. With the addition of like holy weapon and everything, but still, like, he's a nasty boy. He can
absolute nasty boy.
And when he gets,
Goddamn.
you know, when he gets fucking like his blue metal weapon, it's gonna be even worse for everybody.
The combat is just gonna be, you know, it's all theater at that point. Like, you can just beat up anybody with that many attacks.
Yep. It's
just to put on the show. It's not just, we know who's winning. It's fine. Yeah.
It's like basically that's like 6 attacks per, you know, per turn, because he's dragon searching every round probably, because he has an absurd amount of focus points.
Yeah.
I mean, Sword Sits really excel in the short term.
Yeah, they do. They're
Yeah,
very
just
bursty.
Pop the Nova rounds as fast as possible and see where it gets you.
If you can shut one down,
especially.
problems. If you can't,
Yeah.
So I always look at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
Especially
terrifying. Thank you.
Especially how I've built Vogen. He's especially bursty for everything that he has. You know,
God.
things that he's been given.
Yeah, holy crap.
Nasty.
Nasty boy. Garbage boy stink man.
Mm-hmm.
The next question I have is for Miriam. Dear Miriam, what's the current plan on interacting with your newfound inner demon? Do you plan... Everyone keeps calling this a demon, but as I understand it, it's a pit fiend. Devil thing. So it's a devil. Your newfound inner devil. Do you plan on cooperation with them, or do you see this as a battle for control over your body?
I mean, I think part of them would love to take me over if they could, but I also think if they do, that there's a high chance that they'll be dragged back to Phlegethos and both of us will die. I have no real evidence other than the first time it happened. That's really what pinged Fierna to Miriam's presence. Before that, they hadn't really thought about him. Not outside of the annoying guy who's bothered them at least twice now. But the I doubt he's going to try and take over Miriam. It doesn't seem like that's what they want. They want to be free in whatever respect that means for them, because they're a fragment of what they were. They're a shard of effectively a Pit Fiend's soul, is, I guess, Mai's the player's best understanding. Yeah, I guess Miriam's understanding too. Basically what they told him. So Miriam doesn't know what form it'll take, but they want their true name back. And yeah, they're gonna find it, because assuming that this new, like, better the devil you know, I guess, and this devil seems keen to fight Fierna for him, which, we'll see. It might not pan out, because I think I'd reconsider a lot of things if I was a Pit Fiend, possibly about to go back to hell, being like, all right, am I gonna beat up one of my biggest bosses? But
yeah, in the place where I can be permanently destroyed.
Yeah, well, the fight has to happen on the prime material plane.
Oh, okay.
But the problem is that, as let's say she wins, then he'll be in hell, and then she'll snap her fingers, and that's that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
But let's say we win, what's he gonna do? Not go back?
Yeah. He's got some sort of plan, I hope.
Yeah, they could be riding him by the seat of their pants, just like Miriam. But as a player, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that sounds sick as fuck, man. I want to see that.
And there's no way that Miriam's gonna pass up the chance of an ally, especially assuming they're anywhere near as strong as a Pit Fiend. Like, let's take that at face value. In a fight that is almost certainly gonna involve her probably having Pit Fiends, that would be great.
That's awesome. That's at least neutralizing one person that'll be in the fight. Hopefully. Yeah, it's a good time. I'm about it. I have 3 more questions left. Third to last question. Dear Red Sword Bean, you often go hunting in one form or another. What would your apex hunt be? Who is Ultimate Bird?
The ultimate hunt. What would the apex hunt be? Something big, probably. A rock. Like
I imagine
ROC, like the big bird. Yeah. Like
yeah, I was gonna say some sort of big animal, or the gods that owe you money at a certain point, I imagine.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What is the ultimate prey?
Just
fucking Craven the Hunter out here.
Right? Just climbing Mount Celestia or whatever the fuck, and everyone's like, oh, are you ascending to, like, achieve nirvana and self-perfection? You're like, no, there's some people at the top of this bitch that owe me money.
Yeah. Some guy in the background is, like, trying to run away. You get back here!
About it.
Yeah. Like, apex hunt, rock.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Big
Big
bird.
lightning bird. Big bird.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah. Get the big bird. I believe in you.
It's one.
Second to last question. I pressed enter on the wrong page. Dear Miriam, if you cast Vicious Mockery on Vogen, what would you say?
I thought about one a while ago.
Oh boy.
Because I had a bit to think about this one.
Oh no.
And there's a lot of things, but I think the funniest one, at least that I could think of, would be, what do hair and talent have in common? Vogen doesn't have either.
Got him.
But outside of that, also he's a sword saint, so I wouldn't cast Vicious Mockery on him because he would just not care.
It's true. I've got a pretty good wisdom save.
Yeah, he'd be like, nope, and punch.
Yeah.
Oh, if I had to cast a spell on Vogen, it wouldn't be Vicious Mockery. It'd be like Levitate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, no ground for you.
That's
I
fine.
mean-
Wind chain.
Stay at 60 feet and just.
Well, I'll just hang out here for a while.
This is me now.
You couldn't
It's
even cast
fucking-
chain lightning on him, or like fucking call lightning on him.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just levitate and then spend the next minute or so casting vicious mockery after vicious mockery.
You're gonna care eventually. Your self-esteem can only be so big.
Miriam, stop! My self-esteem can only take so much.
Miriam, stop! I only have 73 self-esteem points left.
I'm going to sad you to death.
It'll eventually work. Odds are.
I just have 60 seconds to do it.
Yeah.
Or is it 10 minutes? One or the other. If it's
Yeah.
10 minutes, then do you have a problem?
Yeah.
I'm just checking. It's also not that high of a spell slot, because up to 10 minutes. And also, it's a second level spell slot. You should go up there, slap him again, and make sure he stays
Yeah.
up there for another 10.
I think the only way you can cast is through the Citron, so he only has one shot.
Oh, okay.
He
Oh,
could cast
fuck.
Fly on himself and fly up 60 feet and just do it that way as well, though.
Yeah.
The reason I know these things is because these are things I thought about doing to Quintus.
There you go.
So
Back
I
in
want
the
to him
tournament,
for
I was
real.
like, just lift and die, or get that feat. Although you can't, because you need like 17 intelligence. But if you get the double caster, double concentration feat, then you levitate, call lightning, 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 lightning.
Yeah, good
That's a
god.
death sentence, is what that is.
Absolutely. Holy crap.
Be mean. Very mean.
Very mean. Final question I have is for both of you. Dear Vogen and Miriam, so you've split the party. Which group do you think has better chances for survival? Vogen and Sunder traveling into a literal hole in reality, or the rest of the party dealing with whoever or whatever has Miriam's second constelliquary?
Spoken and Cinder.
Yeah.
That was an easy deliberation.
So while I can't say for sure, I am of the strong, because I know we are in the Shadowfell. I'm just going along the assumption we are in a domain of dread, and we're about to have a whole grim time. Vogen and Sunder, on the other hand, they're going to come back with cool scars and new beards.
Yeah. Vogen with a beard, though? Mm.
The curse would never allow
They'll
it.
spend like a day
True.
or so waiting for everyone to maybe climb out of the water and be like, I guess they drowned, and then they'll just go to one of the other towers and be like, hey, let us out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're also Vogen and Sunder are a fucking team. Like like Sunder is real fucking crafty when with all his rune stuff from like the Rune Knight subclass. He's he's very capable. And also the other party lost like 2 frontliners. So-
My secondary
that's
thing is
harsh.
that we were told last session that we're not going to be seeing them for a while. So there's going
Yep.
to be a lot more gameplay happening on one side, which means we're all going to die.
Yep.
There's nothing's rolling dice at them as much.
Yep.
The one thing that I'm really proud of Sunder for is being crafty while having 4 intelligence and 7 wisdom.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
That's that's cool. He's really doing a lot for himself. All things
what was the-
considered.
What was the spell that wouldn't work on him, Aaron?
We could not awaken him. His intelligence is too. It's like just at the point where it can't work.
Yeah, he's
If he
dumb.
lost 1 intelligence, he
Then
would
you can
then
awaken
be
him.
dumb enough to be awakened, and then he would go up to 10 intelligence.
yeah.
And he'd learn a language.
Yeah, there you
right.
go.
Oh no, it was oh wait, no, never mind. It was wasn't it Tasha's hideous laughter?
Yes, he's too stupid to be affected by Tasha's.
He's too stupid to get jokes.
I
That's
cast it on him all day,
incredible.
and it will never affect him.
Mhm.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
A creature with an intelligence of 4 or less is not affected.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's
I love
so
it.
sad.
It's so very sad. He's not allowed to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Comedies just takes a little too much out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Poor boy.
It's
Oh,
too much thinking power.
do like that Miriam's been telling jokes as a part of Tasha City's laughter. That's in no way a part of the the somatic component or anything.
Yeah.
You just
That's
cast a
just fun.
spell and they just think everything's funny.
Yeah,
But
it's
I'm
just
like,
fun.
nah, die via puns.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Mm.
With that, as the final question having been asked, we move on to the game with the highest stakes ever conceived. Which is the part of Chat19 where you try to guess which questions were submitted by your fellow players on Nat19. I've asked several of the boys to submit some questions, and we have 5 submissions that were sent in. So I'm going to give each of you 3 guesses, which is exceptionally generous considering one of the questions submitted, and also that gives you a free one on top of the free one. I don't know how to determine who goes first with all things that have gone on at this point. I'll say, Aaron, you can go first.
I need to make a technical question before we start.
Sure thing.
Does what did you do and what did you do count as 2 separate questions?
Okay, technically, what did you do? What did you do, Miriam? Miriam, come on, seriously, what the fuck did you do? Oh god, what did you do? And Miriam, what did you do? How much do you know about this Honokuni place? Caused me to go into a coughing fit. And also, those are 3 questions. 3
Alright,
different questions.
Good to
Wow.
know. Good to know. All right, I'm not gonna pick those ones.
Okay.
At least for now. You know, maybe we'll come back there. I think it was. Where is it? I was just looking at it. Just down here. Miriam. After that one. Dear Miriam, you recently told Lexi of your past relationship with a woman named Emma.
Okay. That question, you recently told Lexi of a past relationship with a woman named Emma. You seem to really love her, or at least care for her very deeply. Have you found yourself having similar deep feelings for anyone else since? Or is she the only one you've had that sort of affection for? That question was... Indeed, asked by one of your fellow players on Nat19! You've done it! Now,
big
who
brain.
would dare have the
Hayden.
unmitigated gall to ask such a question?
Absolutely, Hayden.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That was indeed Hayden. You are so thoroughly correct. That was not only asked by a player, but it was indeed specifically asked by Hayden. Very good job. Spencer,
good.
you have next go.
I'm gonna say, dear Miriam, what did you do, Miriam? Miriam, come on, no, seriously, what the fuck did you do? Oh god, what did you do?
Okay. That question, that specific one of the what did you do genre, that... You know what? I'll give it to you. It's technically a hidden question, because it was not submitted intentionally, but it was in fact submitted by Izzy. I'm going to give you just that. I'm not going to let you guess the player, because I didn't intend it to be a player-submitted question, but you are 100% right. I just personally chose to include it because it ramped up so well between the 2 of them.
That sounded like such an Izzyism right there.
I will give you that. I will give you that one.
All right,
You got
cool.
it.
I'll take it.
Only 1 point though, because I wasn't intending to include it, but you did
Oh,
find it.
okay, that's fine.
All right,
Aw,
Aaron.
man, what am I gonna spend my points on?
I know. Aaron, with 2 points out of the first question asked, you have 2 questions remaining. Do you do?
What would be? Do you ever see yourself settling down?
Let's see. Dear Miriam, if you manage to survive being possessed by a demon, hunted by a vampire queen, thrown into a death realm, and pissing off an archdemon, do you ever think you could see yourself settling down? That question was not submitted by one of your fellow players on Nat19. It was a viewer-submitted question.
Well,
Spencer, you have the next guess.
I'm gonna guess, dear Vogen, you and Avi have been getting along lately.
Okay, let's see. Dear Vogen, you and Avi have been getting along lately. Is it possible they've become friends, best friends, friends who might kiss? That question was indeed submitted by one of your fellow players
Hell
on
yeah.
Nat19.
Okay.
You are absolutely correct.
All
Now,
right, cool.
who
I'll take it.
would dare to have submitted this question for an additional point?
It's either Hayden or Carrie. I'm gonna guess. Or Brett.
Single tear runs down Jico's cheek.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess Carrie.
All right, final answer?
Yeah.
Okay. This question was indeed submitted by Carrie. This is the most on fire anyone has ever been in this game.
I know.
And I am so proud of both of you so far.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
All right, you've done it. I'm so very proud. From that, we move on to Aaron's final guess.
I mean, I have to. Like, there's other stuff that maybe I should pick, but I want to now. Like, I've seen it, and I have to commit. Dear Vogen and Miriam, crap, I can't think of any questions.
That question, I am personally shocked that it was not the first one selected, but yes, indeed, this was submitted by a fellow player on Nat19.
I think I know the
This
player.
was the free gimme that I thought someone was going to go for immediately.
I forgot about the question.
Yes, indeed, that was submitted by one of your fellow
I figured
players.
you wouldn't include it if it wasn't one of yours.
So with that, who do you think submitted this
submitted
entry?
That one, huh? I have such equal faith in all of my friends to be unable to come up with questions. Let's say I'm gonna flip a coin.
Oh shit.
Narrowed it down, apparently.
Yeah, it's one of two that I'm gonna guess. Whether or not I'm right, it doesn't matter. But I've decided it's one of these two, and I will let fate decide.
Is it 6 or
bread.
no cash value?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Yes. So you went for bread?
Yeah.
Okay. That question was not submitted by internet famous Brett Brederson.
Oh.
It
Brett
was
doesn't
in
say crap.
fact it was in fact submitted by Izzy. That was the first thing that he sent in. And I was like, thank you for your submission. And he was like, and then he was like, wait, the only other thing I would have is something like, I don't know, Miriam, what did you do? Miriam, come on, no, seriously, what the fuck did you do? Oh god, what did you do? And I was like, no, your first submission will suffice. Thank you very much, friend.
Perfect. Very good guesses all around, everybody.
All right. With that, there are only 2 submissions remaining for this bad boy. So you got a pretty good shot, all things considered. You got the secret one that I wasn't counting. Which honestly, very surprised at that.
I got
but
the
you
hidden
know what, I'm
boss.
proud of you. You went and fought Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2 before you beat the game, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Okay. I want to guess. I want to say. Oh man, which one? I don't know which one. Nothing's calling out to me like the others did. I'll go, Dear Vogen, how does it feel to become the leader right before Quinn got stuck in hell for who knows how long?
That question. Dear Vogen, how does it feel to become the leader right before Quinn got stuck in hell for who knows how long? Do you think Quinn made the right choice handing the position over to you? That question was not submitted by one of your fellow players on Nat19.
That makes sense.
But y'all did a real good job guessing the answers. You got almost all of them for this round. That was very good.
That's the best I've ever done at this game.
Yeah, y'all nailed it.
Yeah.
Proud. The remaining questions were, Dear Miriam, Captain America's chair sit.
Oh,
So you've
damn it!
left your best friend in hell dimension for Quinn knows how long. How you feeling about that, bud? Is Miriam throwing any blame around at himself or Quintus or anyone else? And that question was submitted by Carrie.
Oh.
And then the final question was, Dear Vogen, outside of bettering yourself and paying penance for your past actions, is there anything you hope to learn about yourself during your pilgrimage? Submitted by Hayden.
Aw. Heck.
But yes. Thank you all so much for coming in, answering these questions for everybody. I appreciate everybody here in the call.
Heck yeah,
Y'all are
a lot of
doing
fun.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
It was a good
thanks,
time.
Thanks to everybody listening to the show who submitted questions, either here in the video description or on our Twitch page. We appreciate all you so much. I'm gonna check to see who next month is gonna be right now.
I don't know if we're gonna have one
Yeah, it's
because we
gonna
get such a big
Oh,
break.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
we're taking
We might not
we're
have
taking a
one.
2-week break, or like 3-week break. Well, kind of.
Okay. Big break.
Halloween.
Big
Yeah,
break.
none next month.
Gotcha. Okay, that's why I don't know who's next month. Because there isn't one next month. That explains it. Okay, so don't submit your questions. If you want to submit questions, at me on Twitter. I believe
If you want to submit questions, don't.
I won't be able to answer them as they will not be directed at me, but I will enjoy that you had the energy to send me Twitter ads.
Just at Common Jockey. Dear Lexi.
Please do that if you feel so inclined. Also, you can check the banner thingamajig if you want to check the next ones. There's a little button thing. Y'all can check. I believe in y'all. You can do it. You feel great. But we're gonna be doing a break for next month. So just enjoy all the Chat19s we have so far. We'll be back soon enough. But just in case anybody wants to find y'all and appreciate you, where can they find you, Aaron?
I mean, you can find me obviously on Nat19. I stream on the QD Heckin' Cult with Spencer and Carrie every Monday. And then every Thursday and Saturday you can find me. You can also find me on my streams every Tuesday and Friday on twitch.tv/FrozenFrost, where I am either shooting at things or being a small cat. Usually it's one of the two.
Rarely both simultaneously.
Rarely both
But-
simultaneously.
We might catch one of those rare streams.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Spencer, where can people find you?
You can heckin' pretty much find me wherever Aaron is, except for on his like personal streams. Also, if you want, you can follow me on Twitter. I don't know why you would. I don't ever post things. I just kind of lurk and like things from afar. But yeah, you can find me at BuddyVA on Twitter, I believe.
Beautiful.
If you search BuddyVA, you'll find me probably.
I believe it's Mr. Buddy VA, as there was a person named Buddy.
some dick stole Buddy VA from me.
I get that.
Yeah,
Someone stole
some
my Twitter handle.
inconsiderate Veterans Affairs person named
I
Buddy
hate him.
took Buddy VA as the Twitter @ and then never logged on again since 2016.
Yo, that's
He's just
my guy.
wasting it.
He's so powerful. I love him. I follow that man's Twitter profile just because
know
he
you
took
do.
your Twitter @ I absolutely love every aspect of that. But yes, wonderful. Thank you. And then I am Chase, also known as Coffin Jockey. You can find me on Twitter @ Coffin Jockey. I do stuff with the Schmuck Squad, stuff with Grimjack, stuff with something witty every once in a while. If you want to tune in for other D&D things that aren't Nat19 things, you can go watch Sweet D, which is on Fridays sometimes.
Oh yeah, I DM that. Right?
Yeah, Spencer DMs that. You can find him there too.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
right.
that's the one that you do for this stuff. And then, as always, you can find me out behind the Denny's. I am always ready to throw down with fisticuffs anytime you find me behind the Denny's.
Which
and
Denny's?
the real ones know which Denny's.
Oh, okay.
They know. They know
Oh, the
already.
real one.
Yes. And then on Twitter at Coffin Jockey, ask me the questions you'd ask other people, and I probably won't answer them, but I will appreciate that you took the time for this bit and got all the way to the end of the video and are sending me things.
I'll respond as though I am the characters without any of the
Yes.
context the characters have.
I will straight up lie. You will send me questions, and I will straight up lie with whatever my own headcanon is in that moment, as though some sort of fey creature. I will just let my whims dictate my every action. So thank you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to you guys for coming in. Thanks for everyone who submitted questions. And we will see you the next time we have an episode of Chat19.
Bye.
Hooray! Goodbye, everybody!